Hi, I'm Patrick. Around 9 years ago, I had been doing some inner searching, expanding my understanding of the world and myself, and I had come across religions and spoke with many religious people. I had at this time gained a good understanding of the different religions, teachers, or gurus, but I needed to find something that was more intelligent because I could see through them, and I knew that I was seeking something that was higher of intelligence and truthful. I was seeking to grow inwardly because I was more intelligent than all the teachings, and I knew that, well, there was no possibility of me staying and just believing in some of the doctrine, what have you. So interesting enough, one day, watching television, the Montel Williams show, I was watching his guest, Sylvia Browne, and an audience member asked a question regarding St. John the Baptist and something to do with the Bible. And I can't remember what the answer was, but Sylvia added on that that St. John the Baptist here living on the planet at this time, and her name was Hehpsehboah, and that she lives in Vancouver, or that she lives in British Columbia. I think that's what she said, in Canada. She also mentioned that Her Holiness, well, in her terms, Hehpsehboah had been on this planet several other times, and she also mentioned who she was when Her Holiness was living on the planet. And she mentioned Shiva, Vishnu, and Zarathustra. At this point, I felt a very strong connection, and it was more strong than anything I had ever felt inside me, my soul. And I said to myself, this would be amazing. That's what I need. I was saying to myself, that's the person that I need. I need someone like that, because that's what I was seeking. Because I felt I must have connected to her, and as Sylvia was mentioning her. And to my amazement, several months later, cruising around on internet chat, I had come across a room. I entered and there was no one there. I came back and one day she was in there with someone else, and they were talking. It was amazing. And I didn't even remember at the time that who she was from when I had listened to Sylvia Browne mention her on the Montel Williams show months prior. So I continued to go there, and the first day that I entered that room was quite amazing. She was answering questions, and the answers were outstanding. I was listening to a truly intelligent being, and once you hear even just a little bit of her time speaking, it's far beyond any of these people that are in media. Obviously, it's an intelligence that's far beyond individuals like the Dalai Lama or popes, or these gurus from India, and obviously it's far beyond religions. So I was amazed and in awe. I had never experienced this intelligence before, and I continued to go back, and has been one of the best experiences of my life, including a 24-hour peace event that Her Holiness orchestrated in 2003, and this event ran 24/7, and as a volunteer I had the opportunity to co-host with other volunteer co-hosts. And this was the longest running peace event ever known, since it went on for 3 months. So I came from an understanding of all the religions and New Age and spiritual and a lot of native teachings from my interactions and research to the wisdom that Her Holiness speaks. The intelligence is so great that you know inside when you know something is true and you can feel it. So this is how I met Her Holiness, and it's been 8 years now. She's established an incredible radio show where she brings on the absolutely most fantastic guests and intelligent guests that I've ever heard compared to any other radio or television show, because she knows what needs to be put out there in the world, and in order to raise people's energy and self-empowerment and to wake us all up and to see what's going on and what's taking place, what's happening, and what is to happen that changes what's needed to change ourselves, to change how we behave and our actions every day, and to work towards creating a better tomorrow. And for a very long time throughout these years, every week and many of the times each day, she would speak about what's going to take place, what may happen, and these are political things, environmental things, events, and so forth, stuff in the world that occurs, and they have occurred. She would say in the next week, in the next 2 weeks, within the next month, and even within the next couple days. And these things happened. So we're not listening to a psychic or a medium. We're listening to someone who is bringing the truth, and the evidence is there because years ago in her, and it's also in her book, the huge amount of information that she has foretold, she would speak about. I remember people saying, this is ridiculous, this is a bunch of bogus garbage. And now we sit here and just look at what's happening on the planet. Absolutely everything is coming into being, is true what she said years ago, in my experience, from listening to her. So there's no doubt. To me, I knew immediately, but this gives confirmation. People need to read her book. My life has changed forever, and I thank the Creator for bringing me across Her Holiness, and I thank Her Holiness for the wisdom and the intelligence that she brings for us every day, and I hope that people will take notice and involve themselves in the great change that is happening and is going to continually happen on this planet, that Her Holiness is telling us, so we can save lives, we can live the best we can, helping each other, and most of all, not living in greed and living, as she says, in a we society instead of for me, because living for me doesn't get us anywhere.